Hello, welcome to Anti-Fash, Grandad. If you're listening to this through the usual streaming services, it's been a while. If you're watching this on YouTube, I've finally decided to do the YouTube thing. Don't know what's going on with this backdrop. I have another YouTube channel and I don't want to get too confused, so I'm probably going to change the light and I'm probably going to change the backdrop. But for now, I think this is different enough for me to not be worried about the confusion. Explanation, I suppose. It's been some time since I did this podcast. Had some issues in life, basically. I broke up with my fiance, and I think as punishment from God, he tried to smite me and sent a lightning bolt through my roof, causing the house to catch fire. And I've spent a good couple of months between hotels, Airbnbs. In fact, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you've probably seen like some of the amazing views that I had while staying in one particular Airbnb. I did some videos from the garden and from the grounds. It was beautiful, but wasn't conducive to recording podcasts. I did try because I promised I was going to cover that ill-fated Tommy entertainment in London, and again I did some videos on just how awful that day was, but I was going to cover the speeches. Seems like that was a bit too long ago now to cover in depth, but yeah, I did start to record a podcast surrounding that day, but because of where I was staying with family in the Airbnb, you could just hear TV, people talking, and I wasn't prepared to send out such poor quality material. So yeah, what I will say about that Tommy Robinson Day, the Unite the Kingdom Mark II, apart from it being such awful entertainment, I have never had such a worst case of second-hand embarrassment compared to watching some of that footage. It was awful, and it goes to show, people use a lot of AI these days. People use a lot of, well, it's a lot easier to gain access to auto-tune and to record yourself over and over again until you get the right take, and it seems to have taken the art of performing live out of the window. But more than anything, that day, I was going to go through each speech. Like I said, I did actually record myself doing it, but the quality was awful. But what I'd really like to point out is just that they never say anything. Like, even from a racist right-wing narrative, that there's nothing really gets said. It's so weird, and people cheer them on, but literally nothing. It's just banal, bland racism, and I find it hard. At least when you go and watch the speeches of fascist Italy and the rise of the Nazis in Germany, at least they're passionate about it, and they did have something to say. Like, Tommy Robinson and his ilk really struggled. And I suppose we should start with the right wing roundup, seeing as I'm raring to go, as you can see, or hear if you're on the podcast services. Must apologise. I am with, I think it's Acast, and I think they wanted money from me, which I'm not really prepared to pay for a podcast I'm not making any money from. So there might be a bit of a delay from recording this, but it's going to go straight out on my YouTube channel. Again, I've invested quite a bit on lighting and video editing equipment. I've got like a decent laptop now to do it on. So there's going to be better quality videos coming out. For now, you just have to put up with what this is. Right wing roundup. Have we all seen Ryan Ferguson, the racist neo-Nazi scouser? I mean, Liverpool is where I'm from originally, very left-leaning. It's quite an embarrassment to see like fellow scouser acting the way he does. Just, yeah, watch this. Oh, come on, mate, I didn't swear. Didn't swear. Like, it's actually embarrassing just how quickly he folds. And this is true of so many of these far right arseholes. They will gladly be big and brave towards women. They'll shout at women. They'll shout at kids. They'll be all tough and manly. And the moment that policeman comes in, his attitude just totally changes. And it reminds me of like just a little I didn't say it. You know, like quite obviously you did, little child. And when you look at him, you know, he is quite little. Let's face it. And he's got that little man attitude going on, really, but not to the policeman. He folded pretty damn quickly, didn't he? Let's face it. Raise the colours. Did we see the RAC driver, the brown RAC driver? And right wingers love to jump on with a nice brown person who's part of their cause, you know, who wants to be picked, who thinks that they'll be different for him because, you know, he's one of them. And it's sad, but saying it as a white man, it feels terrible. But whenever they look at a brown person, they see just a brown person. They say it's about Muslims. It's not. They're forever getting confused with Sikhs and Hindus. And let's face it, just Chinese people, Middle Eastern people, anyone other than the white-skinned people that they are. Well, this brown guy stops his RAC van, gives his support, ends up sacked because of it. There's a message for you there. Don't be a Nazi. One of my favourite things has happened where we've got Daddy Tomo, Danny, the guy who he's a mate with Tommy Robinson. I think he was also involved in the Raise the Colours, and they all fell out of each other because it was one big grift, and they were crying about who was getting the most money, who was earning money on the side, not part of the official channels and all that. And yeah, it was funny watching all that implode. He had a failed bid to launch his own navy. That was hilarious. And now he's putting together an elite white unit. I mean, units is right. Really, is this the master race? Is this what we're calling the master race? He said that he had tens of thousands of people registered, said there was going to be thousands of people for this gathering. Turned out to be like, I don't know, a couple of hundred people. The usual suspects, old, white, middle-aged, not going anywhere in life crowd. If your life's crap, blame a foreigner, eh? And this has given me some hope, because if you've listened to any of my shorts, you'll know, like, I have been in despair for the last couple of months. As somebody that has tried to teach himself about the rise of the Nazis in Germany, the parallels of what's going on at the moment are scary. If you substitute Jews for Muslims, it's essentially the same rhetoric, the same imagery. Instead of pamphlets being distributed, it's memes. If you were wondering how you would have reacted to the rise of the Nazis, if you were wondering how you would have reacted as a German citizen as the Nazis rose to power, if you were wondering how you would have reacted to the pogroms, to the attacks on Jewish people, to the dehumanization of Jewish people, you're doing it now with Muslims. And it shocks me still how many of the people calling for the deaths of Muslims. There was a Muslim family that had managed to escape from Gaza, escape a genocide, came to the UK, and the whole family drowned in the sea on a trip to the seaside, and people were laughing at it. People were calling for more of it. There's people openly calling for the deaths of all Muslims in the UK, to expel them or kill them. And these very same people will tell you that, oh yeah, just because you don't like us, you're going to call us Nazis. At what point are you going to admit what you are? And I must admit, with all this going on, with these vile comments going on, seeing people defending women being attacked, children being attacked, it sort of all got to me, and I was kind of thinking, it's just too late. You know, we've already gone down that road, and that's where we're going to be. And then, thank you, Danny, Tommy, Dano, don't know what your name is, a guy that got prosecuted for a failed kidnapping over drug offences. Can make it up, could you? That's your hero, is it? That's your hero. But yeah, thanks to him, trying to organise this big event, talking all the time about how civil war's going to come, you know, and he's got the people that are going to bring it, that are going to free this country, that are going to protect women and children, even though these same people are the ones laughing at women and children being attacked or dying, for that matter. And yeah, a couple of hundred people turned up. Thank you, Danny, you have given me some hope. A bit of a short one, I know, not very well organised, but I just really wanted to get this ball rolling again. I feel passionately about this subject. I am going to look more into it. Like I say, you're going to get better quality videos coming in the future. I'm going to plan these out a lot more. Get in touch. If you want to get involved, get in touch, definitely. If you want to contribute in any way whatsoever, you could do your own episode if you want. You can get involved in being a co-presenter. You can write a piece, you can record a piece, send it to me. Let's push back, let's stop this journey, this dark journey our country is taking towards fascism. We can still turn it around. I think we are still the silent majority, but we need to speak up more. And you know, personally, I know, like, I have fallen out with people that I know. I have people I work with that refuse to sit with me now when we go to break, because I have put them right on so many issues when they start spouting off, when they start sharing stuff they learned through memes or reels, and I'll get my phone out and we'll fact check it, and it doesn't go well for them, and then they choose to just not let me sit with them because they want to carry on blaming all of their troubles on migrants. We have to do it. We have to point out, we have to fight back. We have to make these people uncomfortable to talk about their beliefs in polite society. We have to force them back under the rocks from where they came from. I always say it, but in the 90s, us like white liberal people patted ourselves on the back and told ourselves that racism was over because we didn't hear about it anymore. We never bothered to talk to anyone of any different skin tones about it. We knew because we didn't see it anymore. Of course it was still going on, but it wasn't as accepted, it wasn't as mainstream. You definitely wouldn't have had politicians supporting it, and that's what we need to do, is get back at least to that point and to keep pushing until none of these idiots feel comfortable expressing their opinions, even online. If you want to get in touch for all of those reasons I've said, you can email me on Anti-Fash Grandad. There's no D on the end. I messed up when I was claiming that email. I should probably try and register the Anti-Fash Grandad email, but I quite like it. Anti-Fash Grandad. You can get me on TikTok. I'm Insulination on there. You can find me on the usual social media, Alan Wycherley, Facebook, Instagram, all the usual stuff, Threads, Blue Sky. I don't really go on Blue Sky much. Get in touch, let's get this project off the ground. Give me some stuff that I can get editing with. Catch you all soon.